Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Sports. Rassie Erasmus has officially dropped his 23 against Wales, and there are 4 uncapped players in the 23, including debuts for under 20 stars Vusi Moya, as well as Yaka Williams, who will start in the number 10 and 14 jersey, respectively. Also, new caps are Ruben van Heerden in the number 5 jersey, as well as Carly Sardi, who gets his chance in the number 3 jersey. An incredible story, actually, if you go look at how close he was to actually having to retire and now going to be starting for the Springboks. We have rung the changes, plenty of experience back into the side to basically, I think, assist some of the new caps. And then an interesting bench. It's a 5-3 split with the likes of Hershey Yankees back in the mix, and then Marnie Leibach as well as Damian Willemse covering the 2 positions there. So we have throwing caution to the wind with regards to the likes of a Yaka Williams starting, a Vusi Moya starting, but plenty of experience if we need it later on. And kind of really sort of a team that really rounds out the Nations Championship first 3 weekends. Before we get into it, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Right, this is the side that Rassie has named, and we'll go through it quickly and then we'll chat about it. So 1 through the 15, Gerard Stedekamp, Malcolm Marx, Carly Sardi, Kobus Wiese, Ruben van Heerden, Paul de Villiers, Peter Steph de Toy, Jasper Wiese. I mean, what a pack that is. Gerard Stedekamp, not somebody we see starting very often, you know, usually kind of deployed off the bench in an impact role. But now you'll get an opportunity to go from the get-go, and then you'll have the impact of a Jan Hendrik Wessel. Malcolm Marx back on the side, and 2 very experienced campaigners next to a Carly Sardi, who in himself is very experienced, but obviously not at this level. But, I mean, we're talking about a scrummaging colossus, very much like a Wilco Low type of player, and I think, you know, I think he's in for a big game. I've always been a big fan of Carly Sardi. I think he would have been a Springbok a few years ago had he not left the Lions and everything kind of all didn't really kind of work out for him post that. Ruben van Heerden next to Kobus Wiese. It's an exciting lock pairing because it's experience in terms of 2 players who have played a lot of rugby, but not necessarily at this level. You know, Kobus Wiese is just playing his 4th game. Ruben van Heerden uncapped. He's a player who I think also could have been capped a while ago and has had to really bide his time and wait for the opportunity. He gets the opportunity this week in a time where our locks are thin at the moment, you know, so we're hoping to see Eben Etzebeth and Sia Khaleesi potentially this weekend. Not the case, and we'll obviously hear a bit more from Rassie when he gives his press conference in terms of the injury update and the likes of that. They were not unavailable, including the likes of Pollard not available, Oxen Chair, Andre Estesen, Kanan Moody, Franco Mossad, all currently still sidelined as well. So a couple of big names missing. I think the main thing is that the Boks don't want to take any chances ahead of the greatest rivalry tour. Rather give these players the best opportunity to try and recover. Then Vusi Moya, Yaka Williams, as mentioned, lots of inexperience, but then they've been so intelligent in terms of putting a Kobus Reinach next to a Vusi Moya, very experienced campaigner. He's then got Damien Delendi, Jesse Creel outside him as his 2 centers, you know, who have got close to 200 caps. I mean, Damien Delendi's playing his 99th game this weekend. Jesse Creel playing his 90th game. So, you know, 2 of our most experienced centers of all time next to the youngster. Then you've got Kurt Aronsson, the number 11 jersey, Apele Fassi, the number 15 jersey. I think a bit of pressure on Fassi. I don't think it was his best game over the weekend. And with the likes of Aquan Horn coming on and looking quite good, Damian Willemse, obviously, you know, one of the best players in the world at the moment from a form point of view. He's under a bit of pressure, I think, to kind of remind people that where he is in the mix. And then what an opportunity for Yaka Williams, who is plenty of pace, plenty of work rate, and he'll get the chance to sort of show what his worth is. And then off the bench, well, it's not a bomb squad in terms of a 6-2 split, but some nice impact players. And I mean, Wilco Low, for example, that's a big scrummaging impact player. And I think it's going to be interesting to sort of see how he comes on as an impact player versus as a starter. We saw the Bulls deploy him more as an impact player towards the latter stages of the competition after he was ruled out with illness. And Jan Hendrik Wessels as well, you know, a player who can come on at hooker, for example, move to Lucid, or straight swap to Lucid. Ben Jason Dixon's becoming quite a regular presence off the bench. So nice for him to be able to kind of elevate his profile within that role. Marco van Staden gets an opportunity. We saw Ulrich Low, unfortunately saw Vince Tuka also not get too many minutes last weekend. And nice Hershey Yankees back. I mean, quite a contentious call, I think, for some people. But he's been playing some really good rugby in France. And the main thing is we are seeing a shift towards rapid number 9s, you know, and Ambrose Pierre scored a try over the weekend, sort of showed his worth. But we are very much looking at 9s who've got lots of pace And that's kind of why they brought Herschel Yankees back, and they said he's a quick scrum off. He's going to threaten himself from a running point of view as well as his distribution. Now, he's a player who rose up the ranks really quickly and then kind of fell off a cliff. I mean, a World Cup winner to not being involved at all, in the last couple of years. Now he gets the recall. Now he needs to try and show what he's all about. And then you want to about Damian Willemse, who, I mean, as a Wales point of view, you'd hate to see those two coming on at 55, 60 minutes if the game is starting to open up, in conditions which will be humid. Down in Durban, it will be quite warm, and we're expecting really good running conditions. So those two, especially against a bit of a tired Welsh defence, are going to cause a lot of chaos. So it's a very, very good side. Plenty of experience in the side, and we've got a very good record against Wales. Played 44, won 36, lost 7, drawn just the 1, so an 81.8% test win rate there. If we look at the total caps in the starting lineup, it's 537, 285 of those in the back line, of which 190 odd of those coming from your Damien Daly and Jesse Creels. You then got 252 among the forwards, 188 within the bench. The average caps per player in the back line is 41, in the forwards 32, and on the bench it's an average of 24. So it is an inexperienced side, much like we saw against Scotland, but there are experience in key positions. Peter Steph-Toy continuing to lead the side as well, knows what he's all about. So I think it's a very good mix of experience with a bit of youth that gives the young players the best opportunity at success. What are your thoughts about the team? Let me know down in the comments below. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve, and I'll chat to you soon.